Been here for 6 years now, been taking care of my mother, and I have some issues that I'm very keen about. Economic development is something I'm very concerned about for Havre de Grace. We've lost, what, 400 businesses downtown in the last 20 years? That's not acceptable. And I wonder, I keep analyzing in my mind, because my job when I worked out for the cities out in California, and when I worked for Air New Zealand as a young girl, was to work with all these different economic development people from all these countries and all these cities, and analyzing, why is this city so popular? Why is the city not? And why are these merchants making money? Why are these merchants not? So I think that what Havre de Grace is really lacking, and I know that you've been working very hard on this, is a hotel down on the waterfront. And I know we're hearing some flack about we don't need any more hotel rooms. Well, we do need a hotel room on the waterfront. We do need some beautiful places for people to stay. And the occupancy and all the bed and breakfasts in Havre de Grace seems to stay at 80% because they're putting up all of the APG people during the week. So it's a strong market. And it is a market that I know. So I think that I can be very instrumental in working with our local economic team, and I think I can get you that hotel. So that's what I would like to do, because I don't think that we've had the kind of hustle and bustle downtown since we had the racetrack. And we've got to find some economic drivers down there. I think a gourmet grocery store would be perfect. They say we can't get a Trader Joe's, but I kind of disagree with that. I think we could get a Trader Joe's. When you think about how far they all are, where do people want to go shop? They want to go to Bel Air, or do they want to come to Havre de Grace? I think they want to come to Havre de Grace. There's less traffic. So I think that we should look for things like that in Havre de Grace to bring the foot traffic back. They're going for a gourmet meal. Oh, let's stop and get a gift. So there's some wonderful stores downtown, and the antiques, they've done, the antique stores seem, in my business that I set up, the antiques seem to go wild. So I really liked that it's turning into an art center, and I want to work with all of that stuff. And then the water and sewer issues are very important for everyone. We all know that it's kind of a big mess. We really need to I have a few contacts, and my husband was in the construction business I helped him with his business for 20 years. So my husband did everything from roads and sewers, and so I'm not dumb on the issue. I know a lot of questions to ask, and I know the people to go to. I know we have some serious issues, and the Lily Run is one of them. I want to know how they're going to fix it. I also, I don't know, did anyone attend the Bully Rock Forum last year? I was quite upset when I left that, because I stood up there and I listened to the council say a lot of things that night that they never said anywhere else. They told us we were being poisoned, that our water was poisoned and they had just fired someone. I never heard anything else about it except that night. I never saw it in any newsletter that arrived at our home. I've never gotten any answers to my questions. But I don't know what they were trying to do up there. I know that they were trying to make the other council people look bad, and I felt like they were just playing McCarthyism. They were throwing some stuff out there that wouldn't get caught because it was the last minute. And I want to know what that was. I want to know who they fired and what was in that water that was kept poisoning us. So water and sewer issues are important to me. I smell chlorine in the water. Does anyone else smell chlorine or bleach in the water when you turn it on? I do. I never used to. So I'm very concerned about water quality issues. And as for tourism and branding, it is my strong part too, and I am just in awe of some of the stuff that Winnie has done since I've come back. I've watched her work and others since I've come back, and they're very lucky to have had you. You've done a wonderful job. And I hope I can piggyback on some of the things you've done and bring some things that I can bring to the mix. And I love the Route 40 idea. That's one of my main campaign. I know it's a state funding issue, but I do believe that each city can do a little bit better. And I think our Route 40 corridor is horrible. It is not inviting, and all these people that are going up and down the road that we can be luring in if we just looked a little more quaint on Route 40. So, and I'm really involved, I really love to get involved in the museums. I'm a history buff, so I'm a journalist, I'm a PR person, so history in the town, I started a museum. I don't know if anybody knows this. When I came back, my mother still owns 3 properties downtown, so I took the old store that was, my grandfather started a newspaper business in 1920, and all the bookies and everyone used to come in there to get the racing form during Prohibition. So I started a speakeasy museum to visualize what I wanted to happen to the building next door. It's a 3-story building. It was built right after the Civil War. So it's got history inside of it. The 2 floors haven't even been touched since the speakeasy era, so all the notes and all the people's names that were gambling are on the walls with the boards. And so I visualized turning this into a group hub, a museum, a gathering place for the community, a place where we could have revolving historical displays of all the families of Havre de Grace, because everybody has all this stuff in their basements and they wonder, what can I do with this? I don't want to throw it out. So, and my father and my grandfather being storytellers and historians, I thought it would be a great tribute to them and things that were important to them. And so that's why I put the museum up, to visualize that, and lo and behold, someone came in and bought. And we signed the papers last week, so that is going to happen. And thanks to some of the economic development people in Havre de Grace, we're passing the zoning that will allow the first group hub to happen in Havre de Grace. So my